Awakenings, part of the Rise Radio Network where advice meets action.
We're here to spark your growth, lift your spirit, and help you crush your potential.
Rise awakening, hear the call, through the static, we break the wall. Your station, your voice where dreams awaken in time. Rise awakening, now is the time.
Rise Awakenings, let's rise together.
Feel the hum beneath your skin, a pulse of light, let it begin. The night dissolves, the day will spin. Rise awakenings, hear the call, through the static, we break the wall. Your station, your voice where dreams awaken and climb. Rise awakenings, now is the time. Echoes bloom, they bend and glide, a signal surging deep inside. From shadows grip, we rise and rise. Tune the whispers, find your way. Tomorrow starts with sound today. Rise awakenings, hear the call, through the static, we break the wall. Your station, your voice where dreams awaken and climb. Rise awakenings, now is the time. Start with the quiet parts, the things you hide behind your laugh. Sit with the ache a while. Let every question breathe and ask, who was I trying to be? Who am I when I just stay? Name every tender scar and let them have their say. This is the blue from the soil of your sorrow, petals from pain, new color in tomorrow. You walk through the dark with a soft, steady truth, holding your heart till your heart carries you. This is the blue.
pages of old beliefs, stories that kept you playing small. Lay them out on the floor, see which ones never fit at all. Offer your younger self a kindness you never knew. Whisper you're safe with me and feel it turning true. This is the bloom from the soil of your sorrow. Petals from pain, new color in tomorrow. You walk through the dark with a soft, steady truth, holding your heart till your heart carries you. This is the blue. In the shadow you found treasure, in the breaking you found room. Every tear became a river, watering what's coming through. Now you rise not as perfection, but as someone deeply real. Every part you tried to silence learns it's finally allowed to heal. The stars are bloom from the soil of your sorrow. Petals from pain, new color in tomorrow. You walk through the dark with a soft, steady truth, holding your heart till your heart carries you. This is the This is the blue. Hey everyone, welcome to the Bloom. Okay, so if this is your first time here, welcome, welcome. I am going to skip that whole thing that I do in the beginning because y'all know by now that this is just coming from my own personal experience and the education and the knowledge that I've acquired through many, many years of experience. Definitely want to say thank you to Micah for doing all of the man behind the curtain amazingness. I kind of want to dive in today because, Spirit Radio keeps, especially that one from Saturday Night Live. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. So I kind of want to dive in today on what is love and love as a state of being that leads to serenity. So we all kind of think that we already know what love is, right? We've heard about it for our entire lives. Songs are written about it, right? A million of them have been playing in my head all week. Movies are built around it. Our culture talks about it constantly. But many of us have not actually given a thought to the full truth and breadth of what it is. And what we've been given by society, culture, religion is a very narrow definition of love. We compartmentalize, right? Romantic love, family love, friendship love, work-related love, object love, okay? It goes on and on and on, all these different compartments for love. And each of these categories comes with its own set of rules, expectations, limitations, conditions, right? Romantic love is supposed to look a certain way. Family love is supposed to be that way, and friendships this way, and whatever that way. Okay. Because we're taught these compartments, we start to believe that love is something that only appears in certain relationship dynamics under certain conditions and at certain times. Love becomes something that is granted to us rather than something that exists inside of us. But what is often missing in this conditioning is one of the most important relationships we'll ever have, that relationship with ourselves. You know how we love to talk about self-love. Many of us grow up learning how to care for others, people please, and show our love outwardly, but rarely are we taught to truly love ourselves. And without that foundation, our relationship with love becomes a little bit distorted, actually a lot bit distorted. We begin to look at love outside of ourselves for validation and worth, right? We're all guilty. We begin to believe that love must be earned, right? We're all guilty. We begin to believe that love can be withheld. We've all experienced some variation of that. Although here I want to go off onto a little side tangent and mention that what we have been led to believe is withholding of love is not the emotion of love or the feeling of love or whatever that goes away, but it is the actions and behaviors that we receive that are rewards for someone feeling love towards us. That goes away, which indicates to us we're being punished for, we're not receiving the love anymore. So therefore we're being punished. So love is being withheld. So I just want to throw that little side note out there. So when you're reflecting and you're healing, you can kind of sink into that one a little bit deeper. Okay. So, but love, true love, if anyone knows The Princess Bride, that's of course the voice in my head as I'm reading this. It doesn't function that way. Okay. Love is not something that's handed out like Oprah hands out car keys. It's not something that's restricted to a role or a title. Like you don't get love unless you're in a relationship. Oof. That's indoctrination for females, just throwing that in there, and males, males too, in their own way. Love is not something that only appears during certain emotional moments. It's far more expansive than that. It's in its truest form. It's actually a state of being. And that's kind of what I want to expand on today, that love is an existence. It's a frequency that exists within life, all of life itself. Okay. Whatever you call it, the divine, the source, the creator, spirit, whatever you want to call it. However you want to personally understand that sacred presence, it is not separate from love. The divine is love itself. And because we are expressions of that same divine source, love also exists within us. Not just when we feel affectionate, not just when we're in relationships, not just when we're experiencing joy. Love is something that we can access at any moment. It is not limited to an emotion. Okay? Emotion may be one way to experience love and to present love, but love is way larger than just our wee little human emotions, which are so big because they do create our experience. So here we go. It's an action. Love is an action. It's a choice. Okay? It's a perspective. It can be the way we speak to ourselves when we make mistakes. It can be the way that we respond to someone else who is hurting. Love can be compassion we offer ourselves when we are learning, growing, and healing. Okay? Love can be the boundaries that we create to protect our peace. Love can be the boundaries we create to protect our peace. Love can be the courage to walk away from all that no longer aligns with us. Love can be the kindness we offer to strangers. Love can be patient when we give to someone who's struggling. Love can be the way we breathe, slow down, and reconnect with our center. When we start to understand love this way, something powerful begins to shift. Love is no longer something that we chase. Love becomes something that we can embody. Okay? And it has to be from that foundation of self-love first. When we begin to realize that love is not just a feeling that visits us, it is something we can live from. We talk about living from that heart-centered space of learning about yourself with compassion, with unconditional love. Okay, when we have that foundation of self-love, we walk into a room as love and people feel our energy. People shift, right? Okay. Oh, I know Michael's going to have something to say about this. I can't read I'm reading something, so I can't read the comments yet. We speak from love, right? Even when we're being disrespected, what does that look like? It doesn't mean tolerance. It means truth, relevance, kindness, respect. That's it. Don't have just the facts. Okay. We make decisions about our life from love because we put ourselves first. That foundation is solid, right? So we got to put ourselves first so that when we make decisions, we decide that we're in alignment with love. And we can hold ourselves lovingly, holding space for yourself through the pains, through the self-awareness, and through the conscious efforts that you're doing to heal. Okay, when we start living this way, we reconnect with something even deeper. We reconnect with that oneness. Okay, without that self-love and that compassion towards others, we can't reconnect with that oneness. That oneness, because love becomes a state of being rather than a transaction. Okay, the separation dissolves. We see ourselves in everyone else, right? Aren't we always talking about how we're mirrors? We recognize aspects of our being in someone else, especially when we're triggered. Ooh, what's it about that triggered us? Is it because we are not responding in a way that's self-loving? Oh, did I just say that? And we start to recognize that the compassion naturally grows. Love stops being something that's reserved for certain people or instances or objects or whatever. Instead, it becomes the foundation for how we exist in the world. Okay? It doesn't mean we accept harmful behavior. Again, love is boundaries. Love is not unconditional tolerance. And it's incredibly powerful. We can say no, we can protect ourselves, and we can walk away from what isn't working for us. Okay? Our well-being comes first, self-love. It's alignment with our highest expression in this humanity, in this expression of humanness that we are existing in. And when we practice love as a way of being, we begin to experience the most beautiful things. We feel less divided inside of ourselves, right? We gain clarity, we gain sovereignty, we gain serenity, and we begin to experience much more peace. We begin to feel more connected to life itself, because the truth is, love is not scarce, it's limitless. We don't own it. No one person owns love. Love is the fabric of existence itself. That's a huge nugget to wrap your head around and sit with, because it's so weird to think that. It sounds like such a abstract spiritual woo-woo concept, but the more you sit with it and the more you practice what we've been teaching you, the more you'll understand that it is the very fabric of existence itself, and it's limitless. And every one of us has the ability to access it, cultivate it, and embody it, not just occasionally, but as a daily practice of living. And when we choose to live from that space, we are participating in something sacred. We are bringing more love into the world simply by being who we truly are. Our authentic selves emerge. Now let's explore something important about serenity, okay? Because when we talk about living as love, it can sometimes sound like this woo-woo thing, right? Let's dive in a little bit. Something beautiful and peaceful that exists only when life is calm is serenity. But that serenity cannot be achieved without the foundation of that love for ourselves and our expanded definition of what love is and how we experience it in all forms, from all things and all beings, or to all things and all beings. Um, so the real test of love as a state of being doesn't happen when life is quiet, right? Let's talk about this aspect of the serenity. It happens when the world around us is completely chaotic. And if we're honest, we're living in a really chaotic world at this time. And there's no way around it, right? There's noise everywhere. There's constant information, conflict on the news, division in communities, stress at our workplace, pressures at our, our bodies feel all of that. And our nervous systems are incredibly intelligent. They are always scanning the environment to ask one essential question. What's our big question that we always ask? Am I safe? Am I? When the world around us feels unpredictable, overwhelming, or hostile, and nervous systems can shift into that state of protection. We talk about all the sympathetic nervous system body responses and mental responses and all that stuff. We talk about that ad nauseum on all of our shows. And the idea is that we're trying to protect ourselves, but in the reality is when we stay in those states for a long period of time, our inner world becomes a mirror of the outside chaos. So we don't scatter our thoughts and live in heightened emotional states and lose all sense of clarity with the fight or flight mode kind of activated. We can begin to feel as though the external world is controlling our internal state, right? When we're not living in that love and serenity kind of place. But this is where the deeper wisdom of being love becomes incredibly powerful, because love, when understood as a state of being, has a profound impact on our nervous system. It signals safety, belonging, and connection. And when we intentionally return to that heart-centered space through compassion, through breath, through patience with ourselves, all the good, juicy stuff, we send our nervous system that message that says, in this moment, I am safe within myself. And when that signal is received, we can shift ourselves into that state of peace and serenity. We stabilize our heart rate, we become more clear mentally, and our nervous system moves out of that survival mode and into that regulation state where we're capable of thinking clearly, connecting, and responding out of wisdom rather than reactivity. And the serenity emerges here. Serenity is not pretending that the world is peaceful. Serenity is the ability to remain centered with yourself, even when the world around you is chaotic and things aren't as comfortable as you'd like them to be, whether it's in your physical body or exterior world. It's the ability to remain centered within yourself when the world around you is not. It is the calm that arises when we remember that our inner state does not have to be dictated by external chaos when we are coming from that space and place of love. When we exist from love, we create that internal anchor. Okay, think like the eye of the storm, like the hurricanes, and then there's calm and quiet while everything around there swirls. The center is still, right? There's a still point in that middle. So when we return to love and compassion for ourselves with the boundaries and the clarity that we need, right? We return to that still point in the middle of the storm. We gain choice when we do that. Instead of reacting impulsively and responding, we respond intentionally. Instead of being swept up by anger, we might be able to pause and say, what's the most loving response here instead? Instead of getting overstimulated and overwhelmed, we can pause and say, what can I do to love myself in this moment? The kindness, the listening, the setting boundaries, the stepping away from things that are harmful, all of those things are the foundation. The foundation, because love does not tolerate chaos. Love responds to chaos with clarity. Okay? And that clarity protects our nervous system. When we remain grounded in love and rooted in that self-love as a foundation, we are less likely to absorb every emotional current flowing around us. Okay? We become way less reactive to every wave of stress and it just passes over. Just right. I say ride the wave on top. You know it's there and you're just going to go along for the ride on top because you see it. Okay? We can absolutely influence how we exist within ourselves and realize how empowering that is for all those around us. Because when we're still, everyone around us becomes still too, right? How many times you have been the regulation for somebody who's completely dysregulated, even though you're internally having a war inside? Instead of doing that, you instead regulate your own insides. That's self-love. Don't worry about their responses. That's their problem. Okay? When we embody love, it is our presence at self, ourselves, that our presence that regulates others. We don't have to do anything more. We just have to protect all of this and love all of this to the fullest. And that alone makes it better. So we calm our voices to settle tension. We have patience to interrupt cycles of someone else's pain. We are steady and remind others that chaos is not the only way to exist, right? Our steadiness is a great reminder to others of that's not how you need to be. You can be like this if you want. And there's a deeper invitation to those around you when they see that you're steady in that love, rooted and anchored in that love. It's a deeper invitation for them to look within themselves for that love. So it's not just about personal peace, it's about becoming a stabilizing presence in the world that is often searching for grounding. So we can return to that loving space and recognize that our inner peace begins at that foundation. Love is an existence and it's a state of being and it's an embodiment. So start expanding the different things and ways and people in your life that you can see from the eyes of love, starting with yourself, so that you can shift how you feel in their presence. It actually helps to not give a hoot. It helps to set stronger boundaries. It helps in so many more ways than we're consciously aware of until we start to expand our definition of love and how to love ourselves and what that looks like externally. Okay. I want to know from all of you guys, as I'm sure there's questions, how you feel about love and what your perspective was about love. And if you even understand these aspects of expansion on the idea of and or is this the first time you're hearing the expansion of the definition of love? So let's talk about it. Let's see. Michael says, loving someone enough to walk away from them so you don't keep hurting them or yourself. Yeah, that's genuinely coming from that heart-centered space. And that's also simultaneously being true to yourself. Right? Yeah, see, Michael, I'm reading the comments now. Lunaria heard the same song in my head that I did. Yes. I feel as though this is a weird topic to talk about because people's idea of love is really restricted to romantic or familial relationship. I want to know how many of you have an expanded definition of what love is and how to show up as love and how to think as love? I see, Michael, you probably do. Because it's not just an emotion, right? It's a state of being. Yes. Especially when you're empathic. Let's talk about the empathic aspects of being love. We talk about how we just collect data. We collect data on how our body responds to certain energies that folks are projecting at us. So let's deconstruct empathy from a practical sense so that we can help ourselves set healthy boundaries energetically, mentally, and physically. Empathy, empathetic people, hypersensitive people, like we all are, accidentally absorb what's being projected around us, basically. The way you can love yourself a little bit more deeply and help yourself is to set boundaries with that too. Say, thank you for protecting me. Talk to whoever, your spirit team. Thank you for protecting me from any lower vibrational energy that is not meant for my highest good. That kind of stuff. Okay, because you're never not going to be triggered, but if you're triggered, then you need to address it and love yourself through it. To not absorb what everyone else has going on, you have to acknowledge what it is that you're feeling. So you have to get to know yourself so well. That's that self-discovery, conscious awareness of self, and self-love piece. You have to discover yourself so well that you know you're good. You know you're sovereign. You know you're peaceful. So when you feel something else, it puts you on alert so that you can determine, oh, this isn't mine, number one. Number two, let me acknowledge what this is and let me feel the compassion that I need to feel for the pain of that person, whatever that pain might look like and present itself as, because anger is also pain. Doesn't mean you have to show them any kind of courtesy for their rudeness or whatever. That's not what I'm saying here. What I'm saying is this is for your internal self-regulation as a highly absorbent bounty paper towel spiritual person, quicker picker upper of people. Don't do that anymore. Okay. I'm breaking this down for you so that you can get yourself into that place of consciously recognizing when the absorption is happening. You don't want to absorb. You just want to acknowledge, oh, okay, this is what I'm feeling here from this person or from this energy of this room or whatever. I'm not taking this on. I'm going to reject this as mine and I'm not going to internalize it, right? Instead, we're going to reconnect with our heart-centered space through breath or mental work or whatever we got to do, our techniques and stuff like that. Are you operating from that heart-centered space? Because that's when you get to slow yourself down to make sure you can discern what's yours and what's not yours. Pay attention to your body. And you'll notice over time, as you practice this over and over and over again in every circumstance, you're going to start to notice over time that you can actually identify what's not mine and what are they feeling. It's easier to, when you understand your own self so clearly, it's so much easier to understand others and not internalize it and take it in, especially all you recovering people pleasers. One tiny misstepped word and a disrespectful word, any kind of like comments or whatever, right? What do? Right inside me, I'm the problem. We have to stop doing that. Other people's feelings are not your problem. Loving ourselves as the foundation and living from that heart-centered space allows us to separate us from someone else's issues. Let me see. Toxic and healthy. Let's say bubble kittens. I choose to show unconditional love to others. Everyone needs it and a lot don't get it enough. Right. You can choose to give unconditional love and set it and forget it and separate yourself from the love you just gave so that you're not holding on to the expectations or the responsibility of how they receive it or if they receive it or when they receive it. Let it go. Give it, release it. Okay? That's it. And that helps you not attach yourself or tether yourself to some ideas that compartmentalize that love. Being that, embodying that state of love and being that state of love is just giving it and dropping. It's like ding dong ditch with love. Well, there's a visual. Yes, I've seen a difference between toxic and healthy love for yourself and those around you. Absolutely. So, again, we can't control how people receive love. Our idea of love is based on our personal experience and knowledge, our own education of what's healthy psychology behind and healthy emotions and attachment stuff. We learn all this stuff, right? We learn all of this healthy stuff. Not everyone's doing that work. They're just not. You are. The more you do that work and just show up that way, you don't have to talk about the work unless they ask you and you want to be open about it. But the more you show up in that state of being, the more you can identify what's toxic. The more you become healthy, the more you can identify what's toxic, the more you practice speaking healthy and feel the response from those individuals that can receive that healthy. That's an important piece. Allowing yourself to receive someone who receives the healthy that you give. Super duper useful in discerning, remembering what it felt like when someone received you safely, discerning the toxic receiving. You're not in control of other people's emotions. So there's that healthy dose of don't give a FUCK that we talked about in several Phoenix Toxices. That was cute. Anyway, can you show the love to yourself that you show to others? That's a great question, Micah. Thank you. Can you? Can you show the love to others that you show to yourself? And if you're judging others and limiting the love that you give to others, are you limiting the love that you give to yourself? Are you judging yourself? The truth is you can only love others to the depth at which you've met yourself. So if you don't continue to be the love and embody the love and give yourself that love foundation, obviously that's going to impact the effect that you have on your outside world, which is what we talked about. Bubble Kittens asks, how do you tell the difference between toxic and healthy when all you've mainly known was toxic and thought it was normal? Educate yourself, Bubble Kittens. If you want, there are internet educators on YouTube. Everyone has access to YouTube for free. It doesn't have to be a social media thing. But they all have social media pages. So educate yourself with individuals that are content creators specifically to teach you what healthy sounds like so that you learn. Talk to Micah, talk to me, ask us, well, how do I know it's healthy? What's the circumstances here? How would I respond to this person in this way? Ask all the questions because you need to expand your knowledge in order to expand your heart. Okay? I hope that helps. Yes. Let's see. What else do we have here? It's okay to turtle. You don't have to share your love every day. You're not supposed to be a walking beacon for everybody. It's okay. Okay. So, or the understanding I have of the two concepts, I believe those are the two main areas in which love exists, toxic and healthy. But again, that's just my perspective. No, it's a very legit perspective because there's toxic and healthy, and everything has a spectrum. So there's a wide variety of toxic. There's the ignorant toxic. There's the malignant toxic. Okay. And there is a range of love. There's the intimate partner, romantic relationship love. And then there's the, coworker love. Big spectrum. So, and then there's this love for a stranger that you never met before, but you know them on the internet, or, there's all kinds of different spectrum for each of these things. So, as long as we understand that it's our choice to expand and our choice not to maintain the limiting beliefs that we've been taught and conditioned to believe, it's our job and responsibility to learn what healthy love sounds like, looks like, and feels like by surrounding ourselves with people who say and act in ways that we are learning are healthy. And then we know what that feels like when we're in their presence. It's important. That part is very important. As scary as it is to be out there in the world and let yourself be seen and vulnerable and all that jazz, it is just as important for you to feel that love from someone else. Being vulnerable is an expression of love. Okay? Absolutely. You need to express yourself exactly as you feel. And that's okay. Those that are meant to receive you will receive you. Those that are meant to cheer you on will cheer you on. Those that don't, there's your discernment. How do you feel when you're being vulnerable? How does the environment make you feel when you're being vulnerable? There's a massive indicator. Trust your gut, trust your intuition, trust your nervous system. It's telling you if love is present here, if that person is coming from a compassionate space. Some compassion comes with ignorance, and that's the truth. We've all existed in circumstances where the people love us, but their love is conditional and limited because that's ignorance. Expansion is a choice. Knowledge expansion is a choice. Definition expansion is a choice. Research expansion is a choice. All of this is a choice. Let's see. When she was, we're talking about grandma. Hold on. Let's read this. When she was alive, their front door was never closed, even at night. They had a storm to keep the bugs out, but it was never locked out. Didn't matter who. I'm reading fast because I want to get to a question here. She said, she said, making you food, blah, blah, blah. Wait, I'm trying to read. She's not. Okay, so she was not the most loving person, but she showed her love in different ways. She did what she could. So I'm getting this. Okay, so what we're talking, that's perfect. My mom and my dad are very limited in their love, and it's very conditional, but there is love there. It's not that there's not love, it's just unhealthy love. It's limited. Unhealthy love just means there's limitations, conditions, and programmed beliefs embedded in there, and there's a level of ignorance. If it's not on that toxic side, okay, of unhealthy and malignant. We're not talking about malignant in this moment because, grandma obviously has love, So, Lunaria, that's a good one. Worried about I won't recognize healthy and unhealthy and screw up. So the issue with this statement right here is and screw up. Scratch that last part. I understand the concern because you don't want to feel all those feelings for it to be wrong. But the reality is if we're not feeling all those feelings and experiencing what we're experiencing, we can't grow. We have to be uncomfortable and be able to feel what doesn't resonate just as much as we need to feel what does resonate. That's the crappy part. This is why serenity is important. And this is why that foundation of self-love is important. Lunaria asked said to Bubble Kittens, what got me was when someone was actually nicer to me than others. I assumed that was because that was real because I didn't know, and then still accepted the toxic because it was better than before. Right. That's kind of exactly it. It's cycles. It's going to come, whatever you need to heal is going to keep coming back around and coming back around and coming back around. So when you're rooted and anchored in that love, in that state of being, and you're seeing people as mirrors in some way and reflections of your experience, not just your personality. This may not be like, oh, they're like me. No. Your experience, all of it is reflected in others, is mirrored in others. That's an important distinction. I'm glad thank you for bringing that up because it prompted that cyclical aspect of our experience. We are meant to see what's unhealthy in our experience through our connections with others. We're meant to feel it through our connections with others. It's not always going to be pretty. Sometimes it's going to be chaotic as heck. That's the whole point of having that foundation of self-love and expanding our idea of what that looks like so that we don't take personally what people do to us. We don't believe everything we hear right out the gate, because one of the boundaries has got to be proceed with caution. You're more powerful than your body chemistry, right? Get it? Get informed. Michael says to Lenoria, I turned into the opposite. When anyone was actually loving and nice to me, my knee-jerk reaction was like, what do you want? Michael, I felt that one big time. Big. That's a huge part of my own personal experience. Absolutely. I'm always using my discernment with any new formed relationship. It takes me a long time to settle into trusting people. Just ask Micah and Carrie. We've been doing this show for 3 years. That's the 3 years of building a relationship and building trust. It's okay. Use your discernment. Use your time. Use your abilities to see the bullshit that you're so freaking crafty at seeing. The programming has you believing that you're going to jump over that and ignore it, because there's parts of you that want so desperately to feel that emotional love, because that's what's drilled into your programming, that you will tolerate things to feel accepted and loved. So I just scratch all that and expand and allow yourself to know, I am love. I am going to embody love. Michael says, it's still hard to accept help to this day without feeling like I'm giving them something to hold over me later. So this is where surrounding yourself with people who you are testing out vulnerability with and seeing how safe you feel. The best way to find out if you are safe with someone is to fuck up. That's it. I said it. How you're treated when you misstep or miss something or do something or say something that might not resonate with that person or circumstance, because it's going to happen. The way they respond to you is going to tell your nervous system if they are a safe person. Okay? That's how you know that when they give to you, they're giving from their heart. Because if you make mistakes around them and they still absolutely adore you no matter what, they adore you no matter what. Okay? That'll help in your discernment, and that'll help your body feel safe. So keep that in the back of your mind when you're reflecting. You got to have safe, loving people around you in your life. And it's okay to take time to allow them to show you that they're safe. Not on purpose or intentionally. They're just being the love that they are, right? That's how we find each other. We just be the love. And because being the love also means I'm going to love you all the way from over here, and you can be all the way over there if we don't resonate. That was so Jersey of me right now. I'm sorry. But not sorry. Okay. I don't want you to be afraid of giving too much, because the foundation of being love is putting yourself first on the priority list. And as Micah and I and Carrie like to say, go love yourself, that kind of thing. So that's the energy. It should never be transactional. Thank you for putting that up. It's a good time to bring that in. It should never feel transactional. If it feels transactional because of the energy that they're giving off, they're not your people. Be able to discern who feels safe. Yes, nothing in life is for free. No, well, here's the thing. The one thing that is for free is the love that you give yourself. That doesn't cost you a damn thing. The love that you give yourself directly impacts how you show up. You ain't got to give nothing. You just got to show up. It starts with giving it to yourself first. Okay? So expand your knowledge and information on your idea of what love is. Stop compartmentalizing. Boo, that was Don't allow yourself to stick it in boxes like you are conditioned and programmed to believe. Give yourself a moment to say, how can I love myself in this moment, and what's love for me? English is very hard sometimes, especially when you're dyslexic, even in talking. We have so much going on this week. Oh my goodness. Any final questions that anybody has or any final comments you want to make? I want to make sure I helped you expand a little bit today and maybe gave you a little something to nibble on when we're doing our self-love work, and help you believe in that a little bit more deeply, so that you're giving your spirit more permission, your soul, your heart more permission to deepen your love with yourself. That's kind of the reason why I wanted to talk about this topic, because I say I am love all the time, but what does that mean? So I'm hoping that with this, you feel more comfortable with the idea of being the love that Micah and I are encouraging you to feel, and give yourself permission to be to yourself, first and foremost. Yes, loving yourself can be very awkward. It is, but that's why it's a practice. It's like okay, no judgment. That's when there's awkwardness, you're judging yourself. Who's looking at you? Nobody. You're by yourself. You're in your head. Nobody knows what you're thinking except for you. So that unconditional love has to begin with the self, so that you can give yourself permission to see yourself with compassion. Even when we mess up. What is messing up anyway? Messing up is finding out, well, that didn't work. That's all. Yes. Yes. That's all it is. We just look at it and be like, oh, well, that didn't go as planned and that didn't work. I guess we're not trying that again. Or I guess this person is not trustworthy. Thanks for showing me. Okay, I'm out. Peace out. It's just information. Let it be just information. No judgment. If you catch yourself judging yourself, remind yourself you are love already. You're just remembering who you are. You're just seeing yourself as what you already are. What you're doing is removing the conditioning, removing the programming, removing what you're not, in order to reveal the love that you are naturally. Okay? Remember that. Yes, I could see that, how it would be. Messing up is learning. Messing up is absolutely learning. Michael says if anyone could actually see, I feel the same way. If anybody actually knows what's all going on in here, you'd be very overwhelmed and overstimulated. I got about 25 tabs open. There's 2 spirit radios playing simultaneously as background music. And I'm having 25 paragraphs and conversations at the same time in my head whilst I'm having this communication with you right now. ADHD, autism and ADHD is fun. And that's why we mess up a lot. That's why we mess up a lot. There's a lot. It's not chaos unless you are trying to grab on to everything that's happening in here. So part of self-love is recognizing, okay, my supercomputer is just going to continue to be on overdrive, and that's fine. For now, I'm going to be, doing my thing. Let's talk about decluttering. Okay, so this is perfect segue, Micah, because we're going to be talking about removing the clutter within ourselves this week on Phoenix Talks. And I cannot wait to hear a sneak peek of this song, because I didn't hear it yet myself. And this is going to be a really good Phoenix Talks, because the decluttering will help you learn how to love yourself a little bit more deeply. So I think now's a good time to close it out and just tell you how much I love you, and how grateful I am that we're all here and we're doing this together, because we're not supposed to be by ourselves on this journey. We're not supposed to be alone and isolated. We're supposed to walk this walk together and do it with love. So thank you for being with me, and thank you for holding space for the bloom. And I love you. I want a sneak peek of that song.
Other day, gotta clean, get to work, traffic sucks, remember when, wish I had it, how'd I let it get so bad, brush it off, stack it up, can't face it now, gotta stay tough, clutter building inside, clogging up the outside, gotta face it,
You again for being here with me, and that was amazing. I cannot wait to hear the rest of that song because that already started off very powerful with a huge message right out the gate, the first few bars and measures. That's exactly right. It is fire. Don't forget the messengers tonight. You're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be a huge, huge continuation of this little thing we just started here this week off with. I love your whole faces. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys are the best. I love y'all. I'll see you tonight at the Messenger.
From the soil of your sorrow, petals from pain, new color in tomorrow. You walk through the dark with a soft, steady truth, holding your heart till your heart carries you. This is the This is the blue.
Hey, this is Brindle Wolf.
And I'm Lunaria.
You're listening to Rise Awakenings, part of the Rise Radio Network where advice meets action.
We're here to spark your growth, lift your spirit, and help you crush your potential.
Rise awakening, hear the call. Through the static, we break the wall. Your nation, your voice, where dreams awaken in life. Rise awakening, now is the time.
Rise Awakenings. Let's rise together.